So it was very surprising to hear the declaration of martial law, especially because it was based on fear of the opposition. And so in many ways, the way this has turned out so far is a prime example of how democracy is supposed to work with checks and balances. He made the declaration, the legislature rejected it, and then now there's a conversation about what to do next. And so, I'm not going to tell President Yoon what he should or shouldn't do, but I think it's very important to be aware of how the public feels about you, about how the legislature feels about you, and to ask yourself, are you going to be able to effectively govern and lead the Republic of Korea given this environment that you're in? So I really haven't had any conversations with Republicans about this issue, but when it happened, remember, it happened so quickly, right? The declaration was made, the legislature took action, and then he apologized for doing it. And so it happened very quickly. But I think the top comment about this is that we were surprised it happened. But again, an example of a democratic process and how democracy is supposed to work when you have checks and balances against executive power. The United States Republic of Korea relationship remains strong and ironclad because our relationship is with the nation. If you think about the history of presidents in South Korea, turmoil is not a new thing. And so what I say to folks is, regardless of who is in power, our relationship with the Republic of Korea remains strong, it will stay strong, and it's essential if we're going to have peace and freedom in the Indo-Pacific. South Korea has a strong relationship with the United States. We have a trade agreement, we do educational exchanges, we have economic dependence on each other. So that relationship must remain strong. We also have 30,000 troops stationed in South Korea as well. And so South Korea is very essential to peace and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific. The idea that having a trilateral relationship that is bad, I don't agree with. I think it's important for the US, South Korea, and Japan to have a strong relationship. And here's why this is important. North Korea is providing arms to terrorists around the world. North Korea has sent troops to Russia to support them in their unjust war that was unprovoked to invade Ukraine. And so having trilateral relationships with nations that all agree that democracy is essential, not just for this world, but for the safety and peace of the Indo-Pacific, is very, very important. The U.S.-Korea relationship, again, remains strong. I serve on the House Armed Services Committee, and I'm very interested in promoting free and open Indo-Pacific. I want to make sure that we have good trade relationships. I want to make sure that we're promoting tourism between the nations because we've had a very strong relationship for a long time. So I believe that will remain strong. So if you think about the evolution of Congress in the last 20 years, what's exciting is that Congress has become more diverse, more equitable, and more inclusive. And what that means is that people from different experiences, different backgrounds, and different walks of life are now all serving together. The 4 Korean Americans really are here to emphasize that our values are American values. We care about democracy. We care about legitimate elections. We care about economic opportunity for all people. We want access to the American dream like everyone else does. And so I think it emphasizes that regardless of where you were born, regardless of what your parents' first language was, we represent the American experience just like anyone else does. And so our values are American values.